Well, what can I tell you? I mean, when you arrive to a theater like La Scala in '69, when you are, you know, 28 years old, just 1 month before my 20 before my 29th birthday, and you arrive to this theater which it has all the tradition in the world, and you hear about how difficult is the public, how how the whole atmosphere is, and so on, and I have a beautiful rehearsal time. But to mind you, I mean, in the first days rehearsing with the staging, to do the staging, and in those days it was Kawajwanska and Cappuccilli and Giaurov and Antonino Voto, and I believe it was the Giorgio Di Lulo directing the production, and the atmosphere was wonderful during the rehearsals. And then I arrive and I have my first rehearsals with the chorus, and God, you hear those voices, the tenors and basses in the first scene, the first scene for the Ernani, and you said, my God, what I'm doing here, You hear voices like, honestly, I don't think you hear the real voices of tenor and basses in another place like in the Theater La Scala. They are all singers that either they have made a career or they could make a career. They really have their extension. All the notes, tremendous high notes, and it was kind of, I mean, now after 40 years of career at La Scala almost, I know, that the singers, the chorus singers, artists, they have grown up with following my career and so on. But in that moment, you arrive a totally unknown artist, 28 years old, and everybody looks at you like, okay, let's see, boy, what are you going to do, And I still remember the first stage rehearsal with orchestra. So with everybody on the stage, and Maestro Voto told me after I sang my first entrance, and he said, ragazzo, he said, it's a ragazzo, just like a young boy. I hear you a little tired. And I said, Maestro, it could be, I said, but maybe it can be also that I am very, very nervous and very impressed, I'm very taken, said, after all, with you there conducting this fantastic orchestra and this chorus of tenor, baritons, and basses, which I have never heard voices like that in a chorus. So perhaps that's what is happening, and I think everybody kind of liked my comment, because it really came from the bottom of my heart, because I was really so impressed, you cannot imagine. And from then on, it was a paradise, my career at La Scala. I mean, I touching wood, I never have any problem in La Scala in my whole years of career. I mean, yes, it's a difficult theater, the atmosphere is tough, but they are also all for you if things are going well. And I guess I have been lucky. And so that Ernani was my debut in 1969. But now, of course, we are talking about my second Ernani in La Scala, which was also an opening night. An opening night, I was lucky to do about anything between 8 or 10 opening nights at La Scala, which is, of course, a lot of tension, but great emotion always. And first of all, let me talk to you about this character of Ernani, which just by chance, out of our 3 operas, 2 of them they are Spanish, and this boy is is il bandito Ernani. He's a bandit. He's an outlaw man, like it is Ramirez in Fanciulla del West, and very much unwillingly, he's not happy about his life, and this is a difficult libretto to some of the ideas that they are written originally in the story, because the story talks about Elvira having in the room the 3, in the king and Ernani in the room, and Silva arriving. It is very improbable in the book. It's a little different in the opera. I have to say that Ernani is one of the really tragic characters and very noble, because Silva, when he discovers that he is having an affair with Elvira, with his wife, he make him to make a promise. He said, at the moment I will want you to die, so I will play the horn, I will blow the horn, and when you hear my call, you have to come and kill yourself, because that's what we are establishing now, and you have to deliver. And at the end, yes, the day that he's marrying Elvira, at in the last act, yes, the Silva blow the horn, and he come and he killed himself. So he's one of the most tragic characters, and he really shows his novelty, killing himself at the end. It has one of the most beautiful ensembles, beautiful arias, the most beautiful tercet at the end of the opera, the tercet with Elvira, Silva, and Ernani. It's difficult to find something more beautiful, more touching, more dramatic, with the most enchanting melodies, and with the most sadness, especially the phrases of the tenor, because he's about to, when he is killing himself, really is the most beautiful music. Also, some of the ensembles for the baritone in the when he comes to the tomb of Charles V, is really an ensemble opera, and ensemble opera also for 4 really Verdi voices, because the part of Elvira, in this case Mirella Freni singing the Elvira, and Renato Brusson singing the Carlo, and the Silva, Nikolai Ghiaurov, which of course was the same bass that I was singing at my debut in Milan a few years before, and in this occasion having Maestro Muti conducting. Luca Ronconi was the director. It was kind of a little bit of a minimalist production, but it works very, very, very good. I regret that I don't sing too many Hernanis in my career. I did two times opening nights in La Scala. Then I sang a single performance of Ernani at the Metropolitan Opera because I was supposed to sing three performances, but I felt sick for the first and the second, so I can sing only the third one. And I sang Ernani at the Concertgebouw in Amsterdam in a concert form. It's sad that I haven't done more the role, but I'm looking forward to conduct the role. This is one of those operas that I would like very much to present now in 2013 when we have quite a unbelievable year with the 200th anniversary of both Verdi and Wagner birth and the 100th anniversary of Benjamin Britten also. So it is quite a year for musicians, for all of us. So I hope one of the operas that I like to present and I like to conduct, it will be Ernani, because I think the public doesn't know enough about the piece, and it's one aria after another, one duet, tercet, ensembles, concertati, and with as I said, with a strange story, no very clear. I mean, three men in love with the same woman. I mean, which is not easy in most of the operas. There are two, but here is three, just like in The Love of Three Kings. It is really a difficult role. You start singing an aria and cavalletta, and then you have a kind of a duet with Elvira, and then a tercet with the king and Elvira and myself, and then it comes Silva, and after you have a concertato, you have a couple of short duets with Elvira, and then you have ensembles, big ensembles, where there are really this kind of ensembles would you enjoy it because everybody has a phrase, everybody has it really taxing for everybody. And then finally the last act, so which starts with the wedding of Elvira and Ernani, and she is a duet, and then this famous tercet, which it is really quite a lot and complicated. And so for somebody 28 years old to come to do this big Verdi role, the first time I did it, this second time it was a little easier, and of course it was a difference with Boto. He let you do all those things that my predecessors, the tenors, they add, like all those high Cs and all those high B flats and all those high Bs and so on. And Ricardo, then he has a reputation. Then he wants the music as written, so it was a little easier, but in a way more difficult because he wants all the cavallettas 2 times, which makes it also taxing in a different way. But we have a wonderful, successful evening. I remember a story which is an anecdote. You know how they are make costumes and and shoes and things for the chorus. In one of the scenes, actually, where Elvira sings her first Ernani, Ernani involami, which is one of the most famous soprano arias. There is a scene with the chorus verse and they, I mean, so in La Scala, when you have chorus, more or less you have anything between 80 or 100 people. And this is very funny. They were on the stage, it was a platform, and Elvira was singing, and the whole chorus, they were kind of down. And so you never see their feet. And of course, every artist of the chorus has a pair of shoes for that scene. So new pair of shoes for that scene, which they never show. Nobody see it, you know. So those are some of the things of the productions. And when it comes something minimalist, it has to be that way. So where you just see it, the characters, you see it from the waist up. And, you know, whatever they were wearing from waist down, it was wasted totally. Well, there are many kind of characters, and I have always tried to keep my. It's very rarely I did roles that they don't have the nobility that one expects from them. Perhaps we talk about the Duke in Rigoletto, you know. I think that. He has the nobility because he's a duke, but he's not the nobility of character. And in fact, I didn't do too much the role. Pinkerton is also, shall we say it is guilty or unguilty? He's there in a trip with all these sailors. It comes a broker, then that it is proposing a girl, but they are doing this marriage, which for him is a joke, because when he's having a toast with he's drinking with sharpless with the consul, and he said, "I'm toasting to my real family when I will get married in a real wedding with my American wife." So he's kind of enjoying it an evening like any other sailor will do it, you know. But the thing is that he finds this absolutely unbelievable character, which is Butterfly, and it is a tragic character, and the fact that they had the baby, and the fact that he accepts the situation of going with his wife and take the baby is what it makes the character very, very unpleasant, you know. Or, for instance, I have played Rasputin in Nicholas and Alexandra, and I have played Lucero, is a character in a Spanish opera called Divinas Palabras. And all those characters are very few that they don't have the novelty. And a strange character also, for instance, is the character of Le Prophet by Meyerbeer, you know. Then he believes almost himself as being a god, you know. So all those characters, they are different, but most of the characters that I play in my life, there is a novelty there, the novelty of a spirit. And in the case of Ernani, is also a novelty because he's a noble character also by birth. So it's wonderful to play all these tragedies. It's wonderful to suffer on the stage.